Good morning. This is Garrett. Today, I'd like to show you my coffee cup, my coffee mug. Curious how many people watching this will recognize the reference the music to a certain popular TV show based on a series of books in which everybody you know and love, everyone you become attached to in the story is probably about to die at any given point in time. And, of course, I'm referring to Game of Thrones, the epic HBO series based on the books by George R.R. Martin. And, I've got this coffee mug. My favorite characters are Jon Snow and Tyrion Lannister. And I haven't watched anything of Game of Thrones for, I think I'm a season behind at least. So, but I saw this coffee mug. I think this is something I found on Pinterest, and I said, oh, I like that. That's cool. That's my style. So I keep drinking out of the same coffee mug, this Montana Big Sky Country Montana coffee mug. It's in all my videos. And I realized this morning as I was watching my most recent one, I was like, I haven't washed that mug. I just keep drinking out of it every morning. I come down. I've drained it the day before. I go make myself a new pot of coffee, and I use the same mug again. So I thought, well, maybe I should do something about that. I should go get a clean coffee mug, and so that's what I did. And I'm constrained for time this morning. It is currently 5:39, and I need to leave at 6 this morning. I've got a company, one of the oil and gas production companies here in North Dakota, Montana, wants me to come in, and they want to talk to me about my coming to work for them. And then tomorrow afternoon, I've got another producer who's wanting me to come in and talk with them about me coming to work for them. And I won't say which companies they are, but it's positive. It's encouraging to me that the oil patch is picking up. Probably everyone else outside of the industry, outside of this area, is not excited about oil and gas prices coming up. I work in this industry. I know what the prices coming up is going to translate to as far as opportunities for me to make more money, to move around, to advance my career, and it's just going to mean less stress. It's going to mean plenty of work, less stress, more opportunity. And this time around, what I want to do is really take advantage of, if we do see $100 plus barrel of oil, and the overtime is plentiful, and the pay and the benefits and the bonuses are good, and you've got all these companies that are vying for a limited pool of potential workers for them. I really want to make the most of the opportunities to pay down debts. Pay off our mortgage would be nice. I would really like to do that. But get our house into a position where we could sell it and be out of debt. And last time around, I jumped in the middle of the oil boom. Got here a little bit late, and enjoyed still. I mean, some pretty exciting times, and I came in with no experience. Started out not at the very bottom, actually. I think some of my prior experience working low-wage jobs in Ohio, even though they were low wage, they were good experience as far as what I ended up doing in oil and gas. But I was not commanding top dollar because I had all these technical skills in what I was doing when I first started. And here now I've worked to rectify that, and I've been able to ride out the good times and the bad, one cycle of oil and gas volatility. And I made it my mission to go and get those technical skills in the production and operation side. Because I worked on production, so what I would do is I'd go out and I would check individual oil and gas wells that are producing. They've been drilled, they've been fracked, they've been built, and now they've got to just run. And they're going to run for years and years with oil and gas coming out of the ground, going through different process equipment, going into tanks. Once the substances have been separated, and somebody's got to monitor that equipment, make sure that it's working properly, make sure that the production is optimal, you're getting the most out of the ground that you possibly can. So you've got pumps, you've got piping, you've got pressure gauges, you've got sensors, you've got things that have flame on them. If you've got gas, more gas than can go down the pipeline, it has to be flared. Which means that it goes out on a pipe to the edge of location, and it comes out and it's burned. And that can be quite a bit of gas, but you need to keep that flame lit, because you can have some poisonous gases that are coming out that are not healthy to breathe in for anybody local who's just walking by. If you burn them, they're still not healthy. You probably still don't want to be sucking on that, but it's better for the environment, better for you if it is burned, and it takes a safer form. But somebody's got to monitor that. That was my job for 4.5 years, and there's a lot of troubleshooting involved, a lot of complicated interlocking parts, and I had to take a look at where I wanted to go, because I was doing well from a career standpoint. I was working for a big, prestigious company, one of the premier oil and gas production companies in the world. From an independent standpoint, I was in good standing. I was one of the top operators there. I was training other operators. I was being told by everybody that I should move into more technical roles, and that I should be looking forward to promotions and a very bright career there. And I became discontented, and also concerned. But I'll address the discontented thing first. I knowing things. The mug says that's what I do. I drink and I know things. Learning is a lifelong value for me. Education is not something that you do for a little bit and then you move on to real life. I think everybody needs to adopt the attitude of lifelong learning and education, where you're going to be teaching yourself new things all the time, trying to grow, trying to build your understanding of the world and how it works. And so I reached a... Excuse you. Hey, Otis, I'm trying to take a video here. Thank you. That's enough. Nope. So I reached a certain point in my career at ConocoPhillips, in which I felt like I had plateaued. I wasn't learning anything new, and plus, I felt constrained because they'd really pinched back the overtime. I was getting lauded. I was being told I was doing a good job, but I wasn't getting advanced. I'd been there for 4.5 years. I saw other people were getting advanced. That's a topic for another story, that another day, that I'm not going to get into right now. But I felt like I had plateaued. I wanted to learn new things. I wanted to get more technical. I wanted to get into I&E. I had the I&E guys, a friend of mine that worked at Conoco, who was I&E. He was actually a Messianic Jew. Hi, Charles. How's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're watching. Hope you're well. He was encouraging me to get into I&E, and I&E stands for Instrumentation and Electronics. He said I'd be great at it, and I would really enjoy it, and they needed me. But our management was not in their cards at that point in time, and that was not something they were interested in doing, and having us cross-train with other disciplines. And but that's what I wanted. I wanted to be forward-looking, and I wanted to be thinking about, hey, not only where am I going within this company, but where am I going career-wise, and what do I do too if oil and gas just becomes, that's not an option. We can't live in this area anymore. We need to move to a different area. We want to move to a different area. I don't want to be, painted into a corner where I have skills that don't translate into other disciplines, other industries, outside of oil and gas. And so, just so happened that the office here, Conoco's office in Sydney, was closed, or they announced that they were going to be closing it. Upper management had made a decision to close it. We had a nice, big, shiny new office in Watford City. Really nice office. Nicest office I've ever worked in. Really nice. Big, fancy, good-looking office. I still like looking at that office when I drive by, even though I don't work there anymore. They were going to move personnel, office personnel, and everybody that was in the field who was currently based out of this office to Watford City, and they gave everybody the option. And you can either move to Watford City, North Dakota, which is an hour and some change away, higher housing market, higher housing prices, less infrastructure, less structure to the community there. It's been a boom town since I came out 6 years ago. You could move. You could, you could start driving for free from your home if you lived in Sydney. Drive that hour back and forth for free, whereas we have been getting paid for that. So you're all of a sudden losing out on 2 hours of pay a day, donating that, whereas you were being paid for it. So we could do that, or we could accept a severance package. And I think there's probably a number of people that think I was crazy to do this. I've wondered a time or two when the road has gotten bumpy and it wasn't panning out quite as quickly or as well or as smoothly as I was originally hoping and expecting. But I took the severance package. And I said, I'm wanting to learn this industry and expand my career, expand my resume, grow and learn beyond this current plateau that I feel like I'm on right now. And so why, I was thinking about going someplace else anyways, and if you're going to give me a severance package, if I go right now, then, there's no time like the present. So why don't I'll go, you can give me that severance package, and that'll help to finance my breaking out and doing something different. So anyway, I moved into what I do now after a few months of exploring and meandering about, burning through that severance package and buying some hunting gear to go elk hunting that I in hindsight probably should have waited for. I overestimated how quickly I was going to be able to get another job or a better job that paid as well or more as what I had been making. But that's neither here nor there. That was a bridge I crossed back then, and now I've got to move forward and just, you know, learn from it. But I got into being a field technician for the company I'm working right now, and taking samples of oil, gas, and water, and then I got into measurement, and now I'm doing automation since this past September. And by automation, I mean that I install sensors on various processes, piping, equipment. Primarily, the sensors they're sensing pressure. They're sensing liquid level. They're sensing the amount of flow. They're measuring flow of gas or liquid going through the piping. And sometimes you'll install devices that measure temperature. And so that's what we do, and we install the sensors, and then we get them communicating with a central computer on location called a PLC. And then that PLC, needs to connect to a screen that is a touch screen that, the operators and the truck drivers and whoever else can interact with to be able to get the information that they need to do their job. And we also set those sensors up to where you can access from your phone or from your laptop. You can look at what your well is doing from a million miles away and make decisions or call somebody and help them walk through an issue that they're running into, or to catch an issue before it becomes an emergency. That's the big thing. You want to increase your production, maximize your production, minimize your hazards to health, safety, equipment, the environment. And obviously, this is one of it's the technological aspect of oil and gas production, and then there's other industries. This is something that I've gotten into. It meant a little bit of a step back. I had to start over a little bit. It overlaps with what I was doing before as an operator, lease operator, but it's more specialized. It's more technical. I'm learning things that if I ever wanted to get out of oil and gas, or if Elon Musk at Tesla, who were just, not Musk himself, but Tesla was just trying to get me hired over in Nevada. They contacted me out of the blue and said, "Hey, we'd like you to come over. We see you have this automation experience. Why don't you come work for us?" It was very tempting, but it was the timing was not right relative to what my wife's about to have a baby, and the time window that they wanted me to get moved in was right, bookending. It was like between 2 and 5 weeks, and then my wife is due in like 3.5 weeks. It's just like I don't think that's gonna work this time around. But I've got 5 minutes here, and then I need to leave. I need to go out the door, go to this. Not an interview. It's not an interview. I've already had an interview with them. They want to talk about options, and so I'll talk with them about options, and we'll see, if that's a better fit for what my family needs from me, or where my career needs to go. Then so be it. Change is a good thing. 4 minutes here until I walk out the door. This is going to be one of my shortest videos so far, but I want to connect it in with this last video that I did. I was talking about do-it-yourself. The idea is to be self-sufficient, and for anybody out there who you have a job you don't like, you have a job that's just not cutting it, you have a situation that's not cutting it. My wife and I, we were thinking about this job offer I got from Tesla, and doing a compare and contrast with our current situation and what we know. There's a lot of unknowns, but what we did know about Sparks, Nevada, where this Gigafactory 1 is, and there were a lot of the points in favor of it where we said, hey, it'd be cool to get out of this situation, get into that situation, have something different stress. But ultimately, we came to the realization, hey, it's not going to work out to make that change, but we can still make changes, and we still should make some changes, and we should be put ourselves in a frame of mind in which we take ownership for our life, for how our family's doing, for the direction that we're going. If there's things that we don't like, that we don't believe are correct, rather than getting frustrated, demoralized, giving up, we should take ownership for that, make a change. Learn what you need to learn, talk to who you need to talk with, try things, make mistakes, get messy. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and we'll see. We'll see if you like this format. It's a little awkward for me to cut my usual 45-minute. Everything's been 45 minutes to an hour so far before this. I'm only coming in at 21 minutes so far. Man, I'm wimping out. But, who's to say I can't take, 2 half-hour videos, 2 22-minute videos instead of 145 or 1 hour. Anyway, have a good day. Thank you. God bless.